Welcome back to Mass Appeal. You know, reading the back of your food, checking out the label, it can really be the first step on your way to a healthier, happier life. Here to tell us what we should be looking for, we have Tracy Ramelius. She is a holistic health coach. TracyRamelius.com is her website. And all it takes is just flipping it around.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever I buy something new, I always look at the labels just so that I know what's in it. You know, once you get used to checking the labels, then you know what products that you want to buy and what ones have good ingredients for you.
And they say, you know, it takes 2 weeks to a month to get into a habit. So do it for a while, and then ideally you can teach yourself well enough that you don't have to going forward. But
definitely,
we have some great tips here. The first thing is that there shouldn't be more than 5 ingredients, ideally, in whatever you buy.
Yeah, I just give that as like a general guideline. When you turn around the back of a product and there's, you know, ingredients that cover the whole side of the box or the container, that's kind of a red flag for me. I I want to see that there's, you know, 3 or 4 ingredients, maybe 5 or 6, you know, but you want to see that every ingredient, especially the top 3, are real foods. When they make the ingredient list, the top 3 ingredients are the ones that are most prevalent in the
because it goes down. You know, the biggest thing in there is first, and then it goes down. Huh. Okay. Well, that's important. What's also important is you need to be able to pronounce every single thing that you see on the back of there. Why is that so important?
Right. Well, actually, it's a great rule that comes from Michael Pollan's book, Food Rules. He says if it's something a 3rd grader couldn't pronounce, then you shouldn't eat it. You shouldn't be putting it in your body.
And it makes a whole lot of sense. I know we're just looking at some items. There's hydrogenated, and there's all these additives and chemicals that I can't pronounce. You need a doctor.
Hydrolyzed, and it's really hard to pronounce them. And basically, they're chemicals. They're not food. One of the labels that we have here, the taller, the cooking spray, actually has. I was looking at that label. It has silicone in it, which is not even food.
No.
So you know, you just want to make sure that you're actually eating food.
Yeah. Another thing that you see on the back of these a lot is naturally flavored. But if it was naturally flavored, you'd think they could tell you what those flavors are.
Right. The cooking spray, I was looking through that. It also has natural flavors.
That's
so
a
whenever
winner.
you see natural flavors, there's actually no FDA definition of what natural is. So a company can just put it on there and say, you know, they don't want to describe what it is. A lot of times natural flavors can actually be MSG, which is, many people are allergic to.
Yeah.
Same with yeast extract. That's another word for MSG as well. So when you see natural flavors, just kind of be skeptical unless you really know what it is.
And be skeptical of that yeast extract too. Okay. Now, we touched on this earlier, but I think this is becoming more and more prevalent in the world. It's avoiding anything with, you know, hydrogenated in that. But what is hydrogenated, and kind of what should we look for instead?
Okay, so hydrogenated oils are what you also see labeled sometimes as trans fats. They're an oil that is really cheaply made. They're oils that break down easily in your body and create free radicals, which you may or may not know, free radicals are one of the predecessors to cancer. So you want to avoid those because they're just, you know, not good for you to have in your body. And what I would say instead is to look for, those are oils. They're often put in the foods to preserve them longer and give them a longer shelf life. But if you're looking for oils that are healthy, we'll talk about this later, but there's coconut oil. I'm a proponent of butter. Butter is a whole food. It's a real food. It's not chemically made.
We should be afraid of other stuff, not butter.
Yeah, things that are natural and whole is what you want to be putting in your body,
now, Tracy,
rather than chemical.
We only have about a minute left. A lot of people always get on the amount of sodium that's in packaged foods, but sugar is the new thing that they're just being jammed into foods.
Yeah, the one culprit that I always look for when I'm going down the side is sugar. And if you've noticed that lately, yogurt has become really, really popular. It's a great food. It's got a lot of protein in it. But when when you want to check to see is how much sugar there is. Some of them that have fruit flavors have up to 20 grams of sugar, which is as much as a sugary cereal. So 5 grams of sugar is about a teaspoon. So if you think you're putting 4 teaspoons of sugar into your yogurt, which you kind of think is a healthy snack or a healthy breakfast, you just want to be looking for that. It's better to go for whole milk plain yogurt and then add your own flavorings to it.
Great tip. So we're going to discuss one more very important point later in the show. We're also going to talk about some substitutions that you can do in your baking to make it a little less in fat. Thank you so much. So you stick around, you too.